Hello and welcome back to the channel for another Doctor Who collection update, the first one for 2022. These have been coming out slightly later than they have previously in recent months, apologies for that. But yes, today I'm going to be going through everything I added to my Doctor Who collection in January, and there's quite a range of items here, lots of exciting stuff, lots of exciting figures particularly, and a couple of other oddities and bits and pieces as well. So first up, as ever, we have Doctor Who magazine, issue 573 from January, with this lovely image of Jodie on the front as the Angel, and there's loads of great stuff in here, particularly to do with the special effects of Doctor Who, sort of Doctor Who Flux, and also other areas as well. There's some stuff about the 80s in here, loads of really interesting articles about the 70s as well, and just the whole history of Doctor Who visual effects, really. That was the sort of theme for this issue. You also get other little bits and pieces, a Chris Achilleos tribute, obviously the guy that did all the Target covers, well not all of them, but quite a few of them. There's the second half of the interview with Ray Holman, the costume designer, on the current era of the show, as well as somewhere an interview with Segun Akinola, the composer on the show. Yeah, just your standard mix of really great stuff in Doctor Who magazine for this month. And also, rather excitingly for me, on the final page, that little photo there of Battles in Time cards is in fact a photo that I took, advertising the trading cards article in the next issue, which is currently on sale at time of recording, at time of release of this video. And yes, as you'll know if you follow me on Twitter, I was very lucky enough to feature in that trading cards article some of my photos and some of my words as well, things that I said that were quoted. So yeah, do go and check that out if you haven't already, and I will of course be coming back to that in February's collection update and taking a closer look at that article. So moving on to action figures now, so many exciting additions to the collection in January, almost too many to count, it's amazing. So basically, yeah, as you'll know if you've watched my previous collection updates, you'll know by now that I am trying to complete my Doctor Who figure collection overall, and particularly the classic section as well, where there's loads of figures that I didn't get when they were originally released. I'll put up right now on the screen the sort of image of the figures that I'm still missing, just in case anyone watching this can help me. If you can, please do feel free to get in touch via Twitter or Instagram. But yes, over the past few months, a lot of people have been helping me out. So this month I've got no fewer than 3 people to thank who have sent and sold me various bits and pieces. But just before we get to those, we do in fact have one of the recent B&M sets, the William Hartnell First Doctor and TARDIS from An Unearthly Child. Very exciting set. I mean, it's very much a set of sort of two halves really, because the TARDIS is like really nice, obviously with the new roof piece, the new windows, the new paint decoration. It's lovely. The William Hartnell First Doctor is very anemic and just doesn't quite look right because he's missing the cloak. I mean, he's got the scarf, he's got the donut blazer, but he just looks a bit wrong, and so for that reason he's not actually on my main figure display. He's like on a separate display with some of my other sort of odds and end Doctor variants. But yeah, this is a fantastic set overall, and it's actually quite rare already, I think. Like, I was hearing the other day online about people that sort of missed out on this, and it's only been out for a couple of months, and it seems to have like disappeared from all the stores across the country already, which is mad, but very understandable. If you want to see how I got hold of mine, do go and check out the video I did with Ozzy from Mono Supreme if you haven't already. We met up and went to our local B&M to go and track this set down, did a little unboxing and review and discussion about it. It was very chilled, very nice. So do go and check that out. Do also go and check out, actually, on that channel while you're there, the recent merch hunt video that I did with Ozzy and Miles as well. We all met up in Lancaster and went around the shops there looking for Doctor Who merchandise. So go and check that out. It was a great video, great fun to do. Now, the same day that I actually recorded that First Doctor and TARDIS video with Ozzy, I came home to find this waiting for me to come in the post that day. It is a Sontaran Pod from, moment of suspense, it is the original one from the Time Warrior, not the Sontaran Experiment variant. But yeah, this is amazing. I mean, what a amazing piece this is. I mean, yeah, it is ultimately just like a massive like rotocast big blob of hollow plastic with the engine detail on the bottom as well, and your opening door and your little chair inside, etc. But But yeah, I mean, this is not something that I ever really thought I'd get my hands on, at least not anytime soon. Really, really fantastic. And for this, I have to thank fellow YouTuber and content creator, etc., Mestor Magnificent. Thank you so much for getting in touch with me about this and selling it to me. It is just amazing. What an amazing piece this is. Very big and cumbersome and bulky. Like, I don't really have anywhere to display it. Certainly not on the main figure shelves. It's just too big for that. But yeah, suffice to say, I am absolutely thrilled to have it nevertheless. Really, really chuffed with this, because I don't think it's going to get re-released anytime soon or anything like that. So I would have otherwise, missed out on the opportunity to have a Sontaran Pod. So very, very pleased. Thank you, Mestor Magnificent, for that. We then have this absolute beauty, the 8th Doctor and Dalek Alpha, from, of course, the Doctor Who magazine comic strip Children of the Revolution, and originally released in the Toys R Us 2-pack back in 2013 as part of the 5th anniversary Doctor Dalek 2-packs. Now, again, this is a set that I thought I stood no chance getting this, It's such an amazing set. It's not one that I was sort of interested in picking up when it was originally released, because I wasn't quite into the classics as much back then in 2013. But obviously, like every year since that, I have regretted it every day since. I've regretted it since. So it's so great to finally have it in the collection. For this, I have to thank Emily Ashley at Star in Her Eye, who does loads of great figure photography and stuff on Twitter and Instagram, so go and check that out if you haven't already. So grateful, Emily, for getting in touch and sending me this. Just fantastic. I mean, like I say, with this and the Sontaran Pod in the same month, it was like, I can't believe my luck. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get any better, Connor Goddard got in touch with me and offered me a Keeper of Traken set, all the way from Australia. I mean, that is just amazing, isn't it? To think that, someone watches these videos in Australia and knows about me and who I am, and it is kind enough to reach out to me and offer me this set. I mean, it's just phenomenal, really. I am so indebted to you, Connor, for this. It's just fantastic. Thank you so much. Of course, you will have seen this already on the channel if you've watched the unboxing that I did. I did a full sort of devoted unboxing to it. But yeah, just to recap, I mean, 4 sort of interesting figures here. I mean, great figures nevertheless, and it's great to have them on the shelf to sort of complete that sort of Keeper of Traken, Logopolis and Castrovalva lineup, because there's loads of figures released from those stories. But yeah, I mean, the Melka in particular is the highlight here. The clock, not so much. A Rhodes cast hollow bit of plastic, basically, with a couple of stickers on the front. Couldn't better character. But at the end of the day, it's still really great to have this set. I mean, again, it's one that I missed out on at the time. I never thought I'd get it for a reasonable price or anything, and Connor was incredibly reasonable with this. So it's just amazing. And like I say, to think this has come all the way from Australia to be here in my hands on my shelf is just amazing. So thank you so much. Well, thank you to Connor, thank you to Emily, and thank you to Mestor Magnificent for those 3 sets that I got hold of in January. January was a really great month for figures, a great start to the year, and who knows how soon I might have a completed Doctor Who figure collection if things continue at that rate going forward. Then finally we have a few bits and pieces, a few oddities. So firstly, some more of these Doctor Who collectible keychains recently released in B&M, and you'll have seen these before if you've watched my previous collection updates or indeed my unboxings on YouTube Shorts. But if you don't know what they are basically little cheap keychains essentially that were released in the US originally a few years back, and then made it over to the UK last year in B&M. So again, I have 2 fantastic people to thank for helping me actually complete my collection of these, because I now have all of them. So first of all, with Riversong's Diary on the left, a Union Jack Ranger on Instagram got in touch with me to offer me that, which I was very, very grateful for. And actually, I hadn't realised with this particular keychain that it does actually open up. Like an actual book, albeit with no pages, which is a very nifty little feature there. So very, very grateful to Union Jack Ranger for that one. And then sort of spiralling off that, because I was quite keen to complete the collection, having got 5 out of 10, half the keychains released, I put out a tweet asking if anyone had any of the ones I was missing, going spare basically, and Macaulay Cairns, again another fellow sort of content creator, Instagrammer, figure photographer, got in touch with me to offer me basically the final 5 keychains that I was missing, which was just fantastic. So massive thanks to Macaulay for that, for helping me actually complete my collection of these. So just going through these very briefly, the 11th Doctor Sonic is a particularly nice one actually, again like the 10th Doctor Sonic that I had in my last collection updates. It's quite screen accurate, it's not too heavily stylized. Unfortunately, the same thing can't be said for David Tennant over here, if indeed this is David Tennant. I think it's meant to be, but it looks nothing like him. Yeah, very strange cartoony style on these, but you know, hey, you got to get it to complete the set. So like the 11th Doctor, that one isn't one of my favourites. And then with these adipose, it's a very confusing thing actually, because there are two variants of the adipose in fact, a silver one and a gold one. And the gold one is in fact apparently the mystery figure described on the box, on the packaging. But the slightly confusing thing is that the gold one is actually on the promo pic, so it's not a mystery. The silver one is the one that's not on the promo pic. So technically the silver one is sort of the one that no one knows anything about, even though technically, like officially, it's the gold one that is the rarer variant. I believe there's only one of them in each box. And then finally, the Dalek is nice enough, you know, it's sort of got its appendages sort of shortened, obviously don't have a full like plunger or gun stick or anything, and it is only like half a Dalek. But, you know, it's a nice one, looks fairly accurate and fairly nice. So yeah, I am pleased to have completed the set of these. I mean, they are, you know, slightly bizarre, slightly weird keychains, slightly weird designs for some of them, questionable, especially for the 10th and 11th Doctors. But hey, you know, it's nice to have them, and yeah, really grateful to Union Jack Ranger and Macaulay for helping me to complete the set. Then finally, last and probably least to be honest, is this, the spinning TARDIS bubble bath. Now you might think to yourself, Richard, have you stepped into a time warp or something and ended up back in 2007 or 8? No, I haven't. But yeah, it's very strange that I've managed to get hold of this and the circumstances. Basically, a load of old merchandise. I think this is the oldest thing, and there's some of the stuff from like 2012, 13, 14, whatever. But a load of old stuff that was like originally US stock, I think, has just randomly turned up in Forbidden Planet stores recently. Forbidden Planet International, that is. So there's this, there's like Russian dolls of all the Doctors, there's Mr. Huffle from Return Doctor Mysterio, loads of weird stuff, bobbleheads, all sorts. And yeah, this is one of them. I think I did mention in a previous video that I have seen this before on previous visits to Forbidden Planet, but sort of resisted the urge, if that's the right phrase, to buy it. But yeah, last time I went, I was actually looking for a Mr. Huffle, and I didn't have it, they'd run out of stock. So I thought, well, I'll get this instead, you know, just to make up for it. And it's just weird, isn't it? You know, it's such a weird one. Like, I'm not actually going to use the bubble bath inside. I'm not going to open this up, I don't think. Because basically, it's a little demo here. But the whole of this top half screws off, and then you have a foil seal there. So underneath there, in this lower half, in this tub, is a load of bubble bath from 2007, which, yeah, part of me is tempted to see what it looks like, you know? Not to use it, but like to put it in the bath and just see what happens, like an experiment or something. But no, I think I'm going to leave it sealed, you know, as a sort of pristine piece of RTD1 era merchandise. But yes, of course, what you're all here for, if I can just screw the lid back on, is the top bit here, and that's why I bought it, really. This actual spinning TARDIS feature. So yeah, as you can see on the side, there is a button which you can push, and providing it all goes to plan and works, if you push the button, you get a little spinning effect with the two halves of the TARDIS separating and revealing inside the 14th Doctor himself, Mr. David Tennant. So yeah, I don't know why I bought this, really. It's one of the weirdest items of Doctor Who merchandise I have ever bought. But yeah, I don't regret it, you know? I don't regret it because it is cool. It's a bit of nostalgia, isn't it, you know, at the end of the day. And so, yeah, nothing wrong with that, really. So there we have it, another month of Doctor Who goodness. So much great stuff added to the collection this month, particularly figure-wise, like I say. I mean, if you told me even this time, you know, in December, that I'd have all these figures in front of me, you know, the 8th Doctor and Dalek Alpha, the Keeper of Traken set, a Sontaran Pod, I would not have believed you. So it's just so great to have them, and of course all the keychains as well, a complete collection of those. And of course the cherry on the cake, the spinning TARDIS bubble bath. So once again, a massive thanks to Mestel Magnificent, Atastar and Harai or Emily on Twitter and Instagram, Connor Goddard, Union Jack Ranger, and Macaulay Cairns for helping me locate all these figures and keychains and things. Really grateful to all 5 of you. It's amazing to have 5 people who have contributed to this particular collection update. Fantastic stuff. And as I say, if anyone else watching can help me with the figures that I'm missing, please do get in touch. I'll put up the image again now, just of all the ones that I'm currently missing, because it would be great to sort of locate some of those in the coming months. Otherwise, please do like the video if you've enjoyed it. Please do comment below your thoughts on all of these items, whether you've got them yourself or not. Have I tempted you to buy the spinning TARDIS bubble bath, for instance, to try and track that down? If so, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you've got to say just generally about any of these items, or indeed any of the items that you've added to your Doctor Who collection in recent weeks or months. Please do also consider supporting me on my brand new Patreon page, where for just £1.50 a month, you can get your name featured at the end of every video that I make. The link to that is in the description, as well as links to all the products that I've shown off in this video, and of course links to all those people I mentioned as well, if you want to go and check them out too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.